I'm not going to stay here long, folks. I'm happy. It rained yesterday beautifully. It rained yesterday beautifully. And I was so excited. And what happened with the rain is it watered my trees and also my vines. It looks beautiful. Soon I'll be going out into the yard, which I call my orchard, and I will be taking photos or videos or both. At any rate, you will see beautiful, beautiful blossoms off of my trees because I looked out there well, not last night, but today around 12, which is around noon, and I saw beautiful, beautiful, big, fat blossoms. And those blossoms are acting that way due to the fact they are doing well. They were fed a fertilizer that motivates the plant to grow uh, flowers, and that being said, stimulates the tree to grow and blossom. So I'm happy. I'm happy about that. It's going to be um, it's going to be good. The peach trees look great. The apple trees are not moving right now that you can see physically, but I believe that they're doing quite well. So that being said, folks, bam, I may be getting some peaches this year. Yeah, beautiful peaches. Beautiful. I have to keep up a spray program to keep the bugs off of those peaches because they're precious. But I will use something that's organic. At any rate, it will be organic. Folks, put up some more videos. Let people see what you're doing. Try to teach as much as you can about the soil. I had a gentleman who shall remain nameless saw the idea that I had about fertilizing my trees, which is putting the fertilizer right at the root. They copied that, did a video, and once they copied it, they, well, which I want people to copy, but be real nice to just mention the person where you got it from. It would be nice, but I looked and saw that the person where they got the idea, and I was quite proud of that because it felt good that someone was watching my videos, and I like that. Watch the videos. Oh, thank you for the thumbs up. Watch the videos, learn from them, use what you think works for you, and keep moving forward. Still would have been nice if you'll see his videos. You'll see him. He's using a pencil instead of the system I use. He's using a pencil. You'll see it what he's doing with smaller plants. But all of these videos are after the one I did, so I feel quite proud of myself. When I see them videos, I know where they came from. All right, good people. Is there anyone out there with any questions, any conversations about their garden, how they're doing on their garden? Everything of mine is at a standstill right now inside because yes, I saw that. Oh, I'm glad you saw it. What did you think? What did you think? Because some people saw it and like one person, and you might see this person, they're using the idea, but they never, hey, I got this from the Morning Garden Show, good idea, thumbs up Morning Garden Show, but hey, as long as they can make use of it, as long as they can use it. I'm glad you saw that video. I'm glad you saw it because um, I kept thinking about the idea and I said, because why would I go to the store and buy those tree spikes? And they already had like the spikes for your plants indoors, little green spikes, and they were made from Miracle Grow. And I know I don't like using any type of synthetic products on any of my plants. So I came up with an idea, which was inject your own there underneath the tree, and that would be better because they had the spikes already. Then they had a electric pump that pumped in a liquid fertilizer, and I said, no, you can use granulated to do this, but use organic. So I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed coming up with that idea. Now, I will get an opportunity within the next few days to see uh, how much of an effect it had on those trees. I think I already see the effect because once I said once we get some rain, we'll see uh, when the fertilizer is dispersed underground and the roots pick it up, what will be the outcome. And I've been certain that I use a certain fertilizer. I have a number of different types of fertilizer, as you already know. And those fertilizers, some of them are for rooting, some of them are for flowers, some of them are for overall plant development. So the one I use is primarily for blossoms. And if I see a a large number of blossoms on these trees, and I know what they look like every year before I started using this. If I see an enormous amount of blossoms, I'll know that this technique has shown to be worth the effort. And I'm just glad I was able to put it out there. Beautiful. Beautiful. Love these plants. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Did you see the results of the farmers? No, I don't remember seeing anyone else use it, but if they had to, I missed it. I missed it. I suppose that originally used this is similar to side dressing. Yeah, absolutely. It's similar to side dressing, but the I saw a excuse me. I saw some videos of some farmers over in Africa, and they were using a process called micro dosing. But with the micro dosing, they would take a hole and do a small indentation, and they would drop a cap full of fertilizer at the base of a plant, and it would be maybe 6 inches from that plant. And that's exactly what I'm going to use for my plants coming up. I said, yeah, microdosing. Yep, that's it. And so that being said, the microdosing I kept looking at it, and for me, it was this crazy, uh, uh, sensible way of doing things. And because what they said kept uh, talking about in the videos was that fertilizer there is extremely expensive, not just a little, but extremely. It's almost out of their reach. And also, they talked about the fact that they use less fertilizers than their parents that used to run those farms. Um, the the fact that they said they would go from, let's say, for instance, 250-pound bags down to a quarter of that to do the same job and get better results. That's what I really got out of it. So when I looked at uh, uh, how they were doing it, they were using at times they were using a small amount of man-made fertilizer. They were using man-made, and it was also using a small amount of compost at the base of the plant they were interested in growing, which meant to me that they're not feeding everything out there, which is when you do a side dressing, you sprinkle it around a plant, you're feeding grass and you're feeding weeds and things of that nature. So I didn't want to do that. All I wanted to do was was injected directly to where I needed it. I said, would you want to put fertilizer there? No, no. Here's what I understand from my understanding of plants. This is just my understanding of plants. It has a number of roots that go out from all angles of the plant, and the plants go out to find food. I mean, excuse me, the roots go out to find food. All roots don't find food at the exact same time. That's how I viewed it. I said they just don't. It might go in this direction and find a food supply on this side of the plant. On this side of the plant, it may go find on another day or another few hours later. It may find some food. Um, the plants don't rely on all the roots to find food at the same time. It doesn't. It requires food to come to it. I mean, excuse food to be brought to it in a liquid form. So when it rains or you water it, okay, yeah. So that's how I did it. That's how I did it. I knew that as long as I made that food in the right location for that plant to find it, it would be fine. So I said I wanted to use a small poker, and I knew that I wanted to go down maybe anywhere from 3 to 4 inches or up to 6, and I would put in a small amount and with the funnel, and each one it'd be a lot less than what I was doing the trees, but I would put it in there, and that would feed the tree for let's say 30 days. Then 30 days later, at a later date, I would do it again. Um, and what would happen is that the tree would build roots in that area, looking for that same food supply in that location. And the weeds would basically be left to just forage and find their own food, as opposed to you know you sprinkling it all around the plant and all the weeds around the plant coming up at the same time, creating a situation where you got to keep weeding even more. Now, I understand there's going to be some weeding take place, but you don't want to actually be feeding the weeds and having them come at the same time. So the weeds that I pull up out of the ground, um, they get, that makes sense. Thank you very much. Thank you. I want to pick the weeds up and place them around the plants to create a mulch. And in turn, they will be feeding the plant as well. So weeds to me is beneficial. When you go out there, and you have to go out into the garden and weed, and you have to stay on them because if you can back the weeds up from your own plants at least 15 inches or more, your plants will not struggle with weeds taking up the nutrients because weeds they're designed to survive in that particular area where you live. They're designed for that. And your plant is a new boy on the block. So it's not built for that, but the weeds are. So the weeds will definitely win in a lot of cases when it comes to competing. So when I pull a weed out of the ground, sometimes I'll break it in half and I'll lay it down right next to the plant. I'll get some more weeds, lay it down next to the plant. And when it starts to decay into the ground, it will block the area so the other weeds won't grow. And also it'll be putting fertilizer into the ground. I mean, everything, I said it over and over again online when I go live. Uh, Everything you really need, if it got down to, if you had no budget at all for your garden, there would still be food around in your landscape to feed your garden. Above me is some trees that need to be trimmed. When I trim these trees down, guess what? The branches are going to be used for fertilizer. They're not going to be thrown away. They're not going to be burned. They will be used as fertilizer. That's exactly what I'm going to do with them. So I'll cut them back, and the tree will keep producing more branches, and I'll cut those back, and I'll put them around the trees in my property and actually create a fertilizer supply. All I'm doing is just taking what's there. The weeds that grow up, some of them grow 3 feet tall, some of them grow 12 inches tall. I'll be pulling those out of the ground and putting those around in different parts of my property. Um, the less you disturb the ground, uh, tilling and that sort of thing, you will produce less weeds. You'll produce less weeds. When you dig and till that soil, you're producing all these weeds. Yes. Oh. Okay. Okay. Yep. Yep. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay. I like what you're doing. Actually, I like what you're doing. If you have the energy and the time to do that, definitely. If you want to bury the branches in the ground, more power to you. It'll take a little nitrogen to break that down, but nevertheless, all you're doing is adding compost to your ground because that's all those branches will become is compost. Keep that in mind. Everything that you have will become compost. Let's see, small. Google culture stuff. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Google blah blah. Google culture is the practice of burying rotted or large or small pieces of wood into the ground. I never did it because I would love to have like a. I saw one guy doing a video and he had a large, not a, it was like a trench digger and he was digging these huge trenches and putting these logs down there. It looked like them logs will last 30 years. Excuse me. And he was doing that and he was saying, I'm building a culture and it'll be ready in this amount of time or whatever. And he was putting those huge logs down there. And I looked at what he did, and that is nothing but ample supply of food for the biology in their soil. And when you stimulate up the biology in the soil, you will increase the amount of biology activity. When the food is gone, the biology will die back to whatever's in that soil. Nature has everything balanced because the biology does not stay there when there's no food supply. It doesn't stay there. They produce high numbers when there's food there. So on that note, good people, I'm going ahead and get my workout started, but I thank you very much for tuning in. And please do again, and we'll have a good conversation about gardening, which that keeps all of us growing in more ways than one. But thank you very much for tuning in. You have a great, great, great day.